First of all, don't tell me what to do.
I'm ready.
That's right, stalkers. Fire up the VPN. It's time to rub your crotch on the Monday locker room and get a selfie, you French infidel morons. Time for a sing-along and a $5 face slap. On this, no, on Hot Tour. Here with R&B Naveen, Hacker Hamid, Hamid Media Group. YOLO. It's all true. What's good, you guys? As the signal flare goes up, we got the clash for your ass, and it's easy to see that this terrorist be Ben Hameen here, back in the house, ready to go on what is it, Labor Day? Are you working? If you're not working, you should be listening in here live on YouTube. Subscribe to that Hameen Media Group YouTube channel and sharing all those great clips RBV and Kaz are putting out across the board. So glad to be back here, you guys. Hopefully you got a day to relax from being a laborer and paying taxes and wondering where all that money goes. But speaking of, here comes the money. He's money in the studio with who you know with the graphics. It's RBV. Good to see you, buddy. Happy Labor Day.
Well, Pitt, Labor Day, but we are still hard at work here at HMG, expecting a good turnout for the chat. Hopefully get some lively conversations, some good comments over there. But yes, we got a Labor Day blowout extravaganza sale. Yes, act now. We are accepting any and all super chats throughout this show. Labor Day special from the Army to us generals here. But
I think 20% off at prowrestlingtees.com/Ben Hameen as well. So.
There you go. For that money you're saving there at Pro Wrestling Tees Ben Hameen, you can get to us in a super chat where everybody's winning here on Labor Day. But Ben, yeah, we're back at it. But WWE still, I don't know if we're going to say they're working on Labor Day, but we do have Raw this afternoon. So we got the fallout from Paris. We were just talking about what headlines we're going to cover, but I guess the world, the power couple has taken control there with Becky Lynch, and you seemed very wowed that her and Seth are now paired on screen, brother.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares about these shows? Like, I don't want to break down a show. This is the locker room, dude. We don't watch that on a Raw SmackDown review. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to watch these European sing-along fuck faces that want to get close to a celebrity because nothing great ever comes to their country, so they act like complete douchebags, and I got to sit there and waste my time on terrible creative to try and get two people over who aren't really over, that we're being force fed in storylines that really make no sense, and characters that turn on a dime because the creative is so bad and other characters are written out for no reason whatsoever. Like, no, fuck no, I'm not going to waste my time on Clash of the Titans or whatever the fuck in Paris to get stroked off like in this match, did you see the botch? Yeah, I saw the botch. What do you expect from Nikki Bella, bro? Like, they were never good to start with. They were hired for a reason. Their hype is nothing more than marketing for a ripoff gimmick of the Kardashians, and the Kardashians can probably work about as good as they can. So it's business exposing bad. And like the stories coming out, I want to work my way back to the top and show that I can do this. Like, dude, is there any more of it in the bubble statement of like, I need a job and I have a kid and I fucking made ridiculous life choices and sacrifice fame? Like, I'm not wasting my time on fucking Nikki Bella's comeback in the match, bro, or Becky Lynch trying to get over because after she worked with her friend who was fast-tracked to the main roster and isn't ready whatsoever. Like that storyline was next to zero because these people wear stupid jackets. I'm supposed to be into them. No, my time is much more valuable now than to spend it any more than I have to on what it is, man. The culture and the heat and the politics and the marketing, that I'm happy to talk, but there's zero on these shows that are worth anything. Even the work in the ring is terrible because there is no work in the ring. It's all and get ready to go through a table and do a dive and have a pull apart. Oh, 4 segments on a show. I get to watch that. Yay. You think I'm going to spend even more time for these French sing-along fucks? Fuck them all, bro. Really.
Well, all right. So I do have some numbers, some things that I want to talk with you about here with the trip over there. I know we've got some headlines that kind of tie in with everything. I surprisingly here, this was the first PLE pay-per-view from Paris. WWE bragging here. They're at the beautiful indoor arena there. This thing is tremendous in size. WWE pulls over 30,000 in attendance here. Also bragging that they set a record gate for that arena, even topping Taylor Swift. But I did deep dive in this because I wanted to bring this up to you, Ben, because I know on the other side, the crew over there keeping it 100, Disco especially going to be beating on his chest with all, they broke a record gate. They topped Taylor Swift. But to put that in perspective, this is just about a ticket dollar rate, not about the want for the product. Taylor was there for 4 days consecutively and it did 180,000 in that time. So around 45,000 per show, which is 15,000 better than the WWE just for a one-time show.
Did Taylor Swift's fans start did they start a "We don't have any more money" chant like they did at that show?
I don't think so. I don't think if they were singing along, it was actually with Taylor instead of trying to hijack the show.
They hijacked the show with "We don't have any more money" as a rib. Like, this is like, it's been going on since Roman times at the Coliseum, bro. It starts with guys bare knuckle boxing. It goes up to swords. Then we introduce a lion into the mix and fucking it just spirals out of control until the people finally revolt and the emperor has no clothes. How much longer are people going to make light of the fact that, hey, I spent $400 to sit in the nosebleed so I could get an ironic joke on my TikTok? I'm an idiot. Like, that's what you're saying at the most root fundamental level, because the show isn't worth it. There's nothing on that show I would pay $40 to take them to go see in the nosebleeds, dude. It's crazy. So, like, people are just gonna, keep bruise touching, really, at this point of like how much buyer's remorse do some of those people have the next day. But like you said, Disco will go biggest house ever and and it is. Doesn't mean the show is good. It does not mean that, and everyone up in arms about Sami Zayn. You're going to be champion, or you're going to be U.S. champion. So the most anti-U.S. guy who switches on a dime from being a French Canadian to a fucking woke culture Muslim to a fucking ska boy, skater boy, white American is now the U.S. champ, and he's in Paris that has a huge influx of Muslim population that are ruining the city, the culture that is these European legacy cities. And here he is trying to stump for both, doing merci beaucoup and inshallah, like on the back of his tights. Like, what a absolute demented, hypocritical statement of entertainment, bro. And to go out there and, there's only 2 stars on this show, really, and it's Logan Paul and John Cena.
Yeah. And if we're looking at a match of the night, absolutely. You mentioned Sami Zayn there, Ben, and I want to get your take on this one. He wins the championship. I think that is maybe a bit of an afterthought there. It's about who he takes it off of, and it's Solo Sikoa, the youngest son.
Yeah, so
Rikishi.
So here
is
comes
this
the
their
speculation,
receipt?
right? Here
Is
comes
this
the
shit rolls uphill?
So my paranoid wrestling mind obviously has to go to yes, but doesn't mean that's the way it is. But now you instantly have to play, past behaviors and the way the mob code dictates that if your kid fucked up, you got to take, the heat too, right? And you can argue business wise, and this is their cover, and like maybe everything that's insinuated of what happened in the Raja Jackson accident and the embarrassment and the way we can get back at you without ever saying anything is to take the title off your kid and fucking you'll feel it. And now Roman will go under and Jay will go under and, slowly they'll do it. So it doesn't look like a direct attack back, but that's the level of how much heat is that going to bring to them? You know what I mean? You're going to hurt them where you can in their pockets and slow their push down because anybody can be on top. Just depends on when Triple H says so, Nick Khan says so, or The Rock says so. But that's the thing. Is there heat with Rock and Triple H, which I'm sure there has been for decades, but the John Cena shit ended. He's off the gas, might not be on the shows. And if Rock is over Triple H and now you're hurting the Samoan family, how much can you tax them and hurt them based off of that infraction before Rock has to flex and go, I'm the real fucking boss here. You know what I mean? So this could spiral out of control, or it could just be I'll crack them good one time. You know what I mean? And that sends the message, and you get the political end where then you get tested, and it's like, are you going to sell for it? Or are you going to eat shit and know why without ever saying a word? And we'll come back. We're the Samoans. You know what I mean? There's that's all in the paranoid mind of the unspoken mob moves of this shit. The other part of that is could be none of that, and they wanted to take it off Sam or Solo, put it on Sammy because they're going to France, so because they can march him out there and he can speak French and catch a pop that way because we book for the pops. Now that other part, both may be true, and we use that as the cover. Let's get two birds stoned at once, as Ricky would say.
Yeah, I mean that is. I mean, it could be that both things are true because we know this company. They work for that pop. You do have the French Canadian, French speaking. You have that tie in there. You said that huge Muslim population that exists within Paris. So you have that tie with Sammy, that big pop, but also that gives you that out for.
Yeah, and there's
the Fatu family. He's got some heat on him, if that's the case.
Yeah, dude. Like the people feast on heat. That's what it is. Like it's an opportunity, and you fucked up the WWID program. You got to pay a price for it. And Chris Gallegos with some hot takes. Sami Zayn comes from a state that sponsors terrorism, and then Israel is a terrorist state. Well, this is the locker room, so let's talk about it, dog. Let's define what a terrorist state is.
I mean, I'll argue right off the thing. I'm going to say we could say we are terrorists.
100% we are, and you could say Mexico is, and you could say that Iraq and Iran are. There's plenty of at one time Germany was. Russia has done plenty of invasions as well and whatnot. And when one person's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. So you can argue it on Ukraine. So if you want to make blanket anti-Semitic statements because it's a hot TikTok trend in the Monday locker room, that's on you, dog. And I'm fine with if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But I'm a conspiracy horseman, and I've been fucking calling this shit out for 25 years. So I'm not just going to let something flatline like that. And that's why I say the hypocriticalness of what they're doing with Sami Zayn, where you're supposed to have this is my unreal persona, my government name, and this is how I feel about worldviews. But I still take a check from Saudi Arabia, America, and then get marched out like a clown to speak Arabic or French whenever it fucking suits the pop for the fucking live TV. So, again, it wouldn't take much to turn someone from civilian into what would be defined as a domestic one. And they'll redefine the laws around that to suit whatever needs they see fit to see who's in power. So interesting conversation. I'm not the one to police anybody's words because I say ill shit all the time that could fucking be punched up to a better way. So it was interesting you posted that, but let's talk all fucking angles.
Yeah, there's different perspectives. Well, while we're talking about
and happy Labor Day to you, my guy.
We also get from this European tour, and we regularly talk about the European fans as they're going city to city here. They usually catch that heat, especially from the North American base about the sing-alongs, the takeovers. But now this time, social media-wise, the European fans catching a lot of heat for some interaction with one Rhea Ripley. Not a good look for any fans out there, what we saw, the interaction with her.
Yeah, these weirdo fucking tape trader masturbators that fucking have her cornered and in an Uber, and then she's tweeting out about a personal space and it's all gone too far, and we're just fucking becoming victims on social media for the back and forth and catches fire. Let's stop that conversation right there. WWE top talent are referred to as superstars. If you are a superstar, that means you should have superstar motherfucking security, bro. No matter where you go, when you leave, especially in a foreign country where you know they're starved for entertainment and the circus has come to town and everyone is TikTok obsessed, Instagram obsessed, and they just want a selfie, and it's all dudes in the fucking 19 to probably 40-year-old range. A team never touched a titty club in Un Paris, and fucking here they are thinking they can get close and invade her space. Where are her fucking two guys my size? Because if those guys came rushing in, you catch a stiff arm to the chest first, and then you'll catch an elbow to the eye socket second. It's your fucking choice of how far you want to take it with your social media addiction, Pierre, and I'll fucking let you have it. I'll let you know to step the fuck back real quick. And then all the other dudes will know that this is a fucking shoot. And you better fucking step back at least three paces right now. And even if we don't speak the same language, you're going to know as I fucking bow up and intimidate. Right? And that's what Rhea Ripley either personally should have written into her contract for overseas where she may be more at risk, or anywhere. And having your own personal security actually makes you look like a superstar. Walking out with a fucking bucket helmet on and a trench coat or your hoodie up through the airport thinking nobody's going to see me because I'm in kayfabe mode does not stop these fucking obsessed retards from coming up and doing shit. And it gets dangerous. And then they'll go around, she was a bitch. She didn't sign shit. Put the heat on me. Her security was a dick. That's my fucking job, bro. So where is TKO to A, have their stars and investment protected, B, make them actually look like stars from having it, and C, set some real boundaries of where people that are civilians, because you can get to somebody online in a Twitter feed doesn't mean you get to them face to face like that. But in this case, they absolutely are. So the heat is not on the fucking civilian idiot fans because a circus has come to town. The heat is on the office and the star acting like they're up here, but not doing the precautions that it takes to have the visual and the reality that you are a superstar.
I like what you said there, Ben. I mean, if WWE, especially now in their business model, we mentioned, the comparison like the Taylor Swift later, they're going to these towns and pitching, hey, we are bringing a spectacle like that. You got to represent that on all fronts, which means taking care of your superstars, elevating them, have them surrounded by the right people so that the masses, the marks can't easily get within reach of them. I'm not in it on this. I am.
There
not
used to be WWE security guys that you knew, like everyone go, that guy's security.
I mean, it should look like Secret Service when a group of WWE superstars are coming in, flanked with the men in black security. And as you're saying, though, then everybody stops. Just not the marks that are sitting there looking at airline flights that are plotting it out. Everybody stops and says, "Whoa, this is a big deal. This is a spectacle that's come to our town. This is something over the top." With that. Not excusing making any kind of reasoning, rationing for these absolute, just disgusting individuals that are approaching her. Some of this does come, though, because of shows like Unreal, like them interacting online, say, hey, I'm one of you. I have these fears. Once you get relatable with some of these people, they feel like they can cross that boundary. I'm not making an excuse. Well, I think it's ridiculous, but that's a mindset that's in.
Part of it. But really, what do you like? None of those fucking weirdo dudes. There was like 15 of them around. No chicks. No, like, just way pressed up on her, bro, in a very like what we're seeing in Europe kind of way in all the hot TikTok feeds. Sure, that's part of it, but the real thing is this is team never touched a titty club, and she's out there in ass cutter shorts with her fucking half of her ass out and her tits out every week, going, mommy likes it on top. You are baiting the trap. Like, you're putting it out there. So what, like, then this is the same as I'm a feminist and I wear a pussy hat, but I love to sing the song Wet Ass Pussy by Cardi B. Like, what is it? Are you on OnlyFans and you're wearing a whore's outfit, or are you the senator, and I'm supposed to treat you like you're the next president? Like, they want to have it both ways. And when it doesn't go the way after they baited the trap, don't be surprised when you fucking got the rats coming in on you. I don't know. I covered myself in cheese and peanut butter, but I don't know why these fucking mice are coming to get me. Like, it's crazy, dude, of like how they can justify, I don't know why you're invading my space when I play a whore on TV. Like, okay.
That is, I mean, it's a reality of it that they have to know is going to happen. What you're putting out there, people are going to react in that way towards. It's incredibly wrong of those people, but it's still a reality of the situation.
Yes, sex has been selling for a long time, but you can't go the opposite way and expect not to. Madonna in the 80s selling it didn't just walk down the street by herself, dude. Massive security, right? Like,
you're not getting within 2 miles.
So what it comes down to is that wrestling is still not respected at that level. We act like they're superstars, but nothing about them behind the scenes while she's going to buy a dead gopher with a fucking fish head attached to it or some shit at a curio shop. And I'm supposed to be like, oh, I like her now because she's a weird goth like me. But then the next night she's out there and we're doing camel toe shots all night long, baiting the fucking goofs, So this is all of their own making, bro. It really is. And I'm not trying to let these fucking weirdo.
We're not trying to let them off the hook at all.
No, dude. I'm trying to get her security, and I'm trying to see the video where security punches one of these guys in the face 15 times and then moves on to the next one and leaves them all laying for real. That's what I want to see, because that will show you what a boundary truly is between someone who's worked for their spot and you trying to run up and catch a fucking shine off of them to get some Instagram followers off of hashtag Rhea Ripley, hashtag mommy likes it on top. Because you're the fucking, you're pathetic, really. You've never accomplished anything in your life that you've set out to make a mark on this world. But you're just a mark in this world.
But she answered my tweet. We're friends. You almost got me thinking WWE should just
send her $100. I heard she was asking for $100. You better send it to her. She might need it.
Mercedes Moné, you can tweet with her for 100. But I was like, WWE should lead into at this point and just call out those types of individuals. Show photo, don't be this person. Don't act like this. Instead of we just have passionate fans.
You get sued by those nerds for embarrassing them.
I want a character that just calls them out, that does the do's and don'ts of interactions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, there's everybody in that is got the wrong response. Like her trying to go in and Buddy Murphy, like, obviously that's his lady, so he's going to feel some kind of way about it. You know what I mean? I'm sure he was his ears were burning. But this is on The Office, on TKO, dude. Like, they should be walking them out of the hotel. They should have a team of 6 people at the hotel. And as people come down, you check in with them, and by 2 people go out with you to catch the Uber. Like, we know wrestlers will be leaving the hotel at all hours. So we need a team of 6 in the lobby for when they leave in mass.
Yeah.
And it just makes them look like stars, bro.
Especially in this day and age with the international travel they got going on, these big deals where how they're presenting themselves. I can't believe that's even a thing that she's needing to get her own Uber.
It's crazy. But that it exposes that they're not really stars. They don't make NBA money. They don't, like, you know, and meanwhile, we're giving belts to championship teams. Guys on the team play 16 games a year and fucking make 40 times as much as your favorite star who's working. It's all because we're on ESPN. We're a real sport too. Yeah, okay. Like, what you're showing me when the unreal part of it is on does not make it look like that. It exposes that we're a fucking clown show, and then you get your talent in dangerous situations because you're not at the. If this is the biggest house ever, biggest one, record breaker, there's no excuse to not have the money to do that.
Right.
Oh, house is down. We just have to cut corners and not afford it.
Well, okay. The perception's everything. They laid it out for him. He's just going to add to it. Ben, you mentioned ESPN, the new partnership we saw at the Clash at Perry. That was the last premium live event that's going to be available on the Cock. So they are moving on from that platform starting September 20th, right up the road where I'm sitting in Indianapolis. WrestlePalooza will be the first one on the ESPN app, unless you're taking a technical advice from Stephanie McMahon, and she laid it out for you to how you can get all of your WWE coverage with a VPN. Rightfully so. I saw this headline and I just started laughing, but rightfully so. ESPN a little pissed about Stephanie's tech tips on her podcast. By the way, that ESPN also carries that podcast as well.
I mean, I'm a little pissed that obviously Stephanie is stooging off that she's down with Hacker Hameen. I thought we had an agreement. We signed paperwork, and this is just going to lead people back to me of hacking the signal. Like, yeah, this is a Ron Burgundy moment, bro. Whatever you put on the teleprompter, she's going to read it. Do you think Stephanie McMahon knows what a VPN is?
Like vice president of networking or something?
Yeah, exactly. Is what, if you were to ask her that would be her number one answer. Survey says 99.
Show me.
Yeah. Not, you know, so that she has no idea. She probably thinks it's a security type thing for the internet and whatnot to watch your internet through this. Stephanie McMahon's never used it. Vince McMahon knows what a VPN about as much as a Stephanie does, bro. So I don't know how that got by her producers, how that got on air, got approved, that they're taking any podcast fucking advertising money and just putting the copy out there, or are they getting ribbed like to do that? But I mean, the internet blew up for the IWC nerds laughing their ass off at it, and they should. This is the absolute meme. Hey kids, or what, you know what I mean? The dude's got the skateboard fucking over his shoulder and he's 60 years old. Hey, fellow kids.
Right. What's going on, cool cats?
Yeah. Like, that is Steve Buscemi playing it, right? So what else can get by the goalie? You know what I mean? Really, with them to try and jump on the podcast thing. And I lost RBV for a minute. Am I the one? Am I still alive? Yalla, he dipped out. I don't know who I haven't watched any of the Stephanie's World or whatever, you know, Stephanie's Interesting Finds. I don't know who the lady is at the other end of the couch. That's her co-host that has kind of a Nia Jax feel to her. So do you know who the co-host is on that show? The woman at the other end of the couch, that she kind of is Latin, kind of Samoan looking?
I'm not familiar with her. I've only seen clips of their show.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of things that the topic wise, even her sit downs, that really interest me. What is Stephanie going to bring out from one of these interviews? It's really going to be, game changing. I mean, this is the biggest headline we've gotten from any of her sit downs. And I even thought, when they said Stephanie Faces, what's your stories? They're working with ESPN. I thought she was going to use the platform as like a more of a crossover to get with those actually in sports, maybe some network executives, things like that, to give us some of the inner workings. Essentially, it's just been sit downs with professional wrestlers.
What does
occasions?
What does that tell you that we're not getting that?
That the ESPN doesn't take it serious,
or that she's
not ready for that. I don't know
she doesn't know. Like that, all the Webby Awards and all the businesswoman.
Well, as you've been telling us for all these years, those are just bought pieces of hardware.
Yeah,
BS.
dude. Yeah, absolutely. And you think somebody who be Miss Internet Webby Award would know what a VPN is before you went on the air and started promoting it? It's interesting to me because you said, "Oh, we're done with the cock after Clash in Paris," and now we're on ESPN and everyone's pissed about $29.99. And on ESPN, they're telling you don't pay the $29.99, get a VPN and watch it through that right off your internet instead of subscribing to any cable provider. And then they get slapped for that. And I just keep going, look at this corporate model of synergy, of split your product, put some over here, put it on USA, da-da-da. All they're doing is selling a bad bill of goods that makes the consumer more frustrated to have to keep subscribing and switching product. But that is the hook that is actually going down in marketing meetings to get people to subscribe to these failing platforms. There's nothing on Peacock you want to watch. You want The Office.
Super Office. I know wife number one.
Yeah. So I showed her how to bring it up on bhflix.sh or swatchseries.is. It's all on there instead of paying for Peacock. But that once they've brought those fan base over there, it then becomes are they disciplined to cancel as soon as they leave? How long will the overlap be of that they'll let it run out for the next 4 months? And we got them because they just don't cancel subscriptions. That's the true metric of the human timeline of dissatisfaction with a product because it doesn't deliver anymore. And am I too lazy in my habits to cancel that subscription? I would say I can't think of what the boardroom terminology for that would be off the top of my head, whatever sexy term they'd come up with for it. But I would probably say it's in a 90 to 120 day range that you would pay for something before you'd stop that. Probably goes the same with like car wash subscriptions and whatever else, right? Of when you're not using it. Gym subscription. I imagine Planet Fitness has people that pay for a year and never fucking go.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I'd like to see that because you see that major boom there in January, and then the major fade off at the gym by the time March is around. But how long are those paid memberships until people realize, well, I got to cut that off? But like this is a great example here, Ben. So Peacock will still continue to have the NXT premium live events. They have some back catalog, just so the most diehard of fans might hold on. But an opportune time, perfect here for the Peacock. Yesterday was the last day of the month, the last show. How many people are just going to forget to cancel right away, and now they're going to keep it through September
and get rebuild? Yeah, and a lot of this is all under the same umbrella. It's not like they're jumping networks. There's only fucking 5 that control all of media, so they're jumping on the subs to like get every channel and app of its own for second tier content and charge them now a premium price, which used to be an introductory price of $4.99 or whatever. And they'll use the guise of that until it jumps up to $29.99. And then you're hooked again. And then it's another app that they've carved up and gotten a little piece because you want to watch the entire saga, right? Like that is the model. when will other people, other shows start calling that out for the ridiculous, like selfish greed money grab that it truly is? And I think of that, and that's the model when we had it all in-house. We had it all on the WWE app. We had the entire catalog for true wrestling fans, and their stock price went from $20 to $140, bro, in that time period. 700% growth. Like crazy numbers, right? Like and now it's all chopped up and you can't find all of it anywhere, and things are being lost in the digital shuffle, of that are digitized, that aren't uploaded in a library that's easily searchable. So pieces of the wrestling history are being lost because of the greed of this corporate shill model, bro. And the thing is, if your show was incredible, you could have sold your fucking entire library and setup and probably built it right into the Netflix platform for a lot more money, $20 billion, instead of what they did which is what they do, is follow the trend of the current climate, because it's a product. It's not a lifestyle and a fucking something necessary to survive. So now these new masters are going to follow whatever media trends variety sets out there and continue on that way until it conglomerates again. And we have to do a big search to get it all back. I hope that whatever the WWE network platform was built on can be put into future technology in an easy way, because nothing was ever working better than when it was all there and it was the easiest to do there.
Few devil's advocate question here for you. Now, do you see, because I mean, everything we talked about, that pendulum swing, and everything is cyclical in nature. We've got nostalgia in our marketing and all that now. What was cool in the 90s is selling now. We do have widespread across the board, all of your major sports, entertainment avenues. They're looking for that wide range distribution. Of course, WWE right here, following the model of the NFL. We've had Nick Khan talk about, hey, we looked at the NFL, for example, and guidance. The NFL, to catch all their action, you need 8 to 9 platforms or outlets, access to those.
No, you don't. You just need Stephanie's VPN. And you can get Red Zone on Sports Surge or VIPRoad.box TV.
So you got all that. But, the average person is just going to go pay for all those things, to get all those different streaming services.
The average person is a moron.
WWE trying to follow that. Well, that's who buys morons. That's who's buying them. So they're looking for that. Obviously, if WWE, when they had their own outlet, their own platform, there was a major ceiling they're going to hit, Ben, because you're only going to get so many of those wrestling fans, especially as you're saying, when the product. They're not in the wrestling business anymore. They're just selling wrestling as a product, a catalyst for live events, for streaming distribution, for the brand. That handcuffs them where they were at. Now going widespread, these snake oil salesmen can leech onto all these different platforms and get that big payday instead of trying to generate it themselves. You're
conditioning your audience that's the way things work now. So if you want it, you're just going to have to sign up for that. You want NASCAR over there, you got to sign up for that. You want your local sports or college, you got to sign
that's the other thing. If you want Big Ten, you got to have this one. If you want SEC, you want this. If you want the 12, if you want this, and if you want,
it's diversification of the product, chopping it up under the same umbrella of network distribution that is under the greater umbrella of the true corporate ownership of GE, right? That's NBC.
Well, like you're saying, what's funny is we think, oh, I got to get 9, 10 different streaming services or have access to networks to watch all this. But reality is there's only 4 or 5 that are running the whole thing.
Correct. It's called the illusion of choice. How many people even know that GE owns NBC?
Nope. Not a whole lot.
And what does Viacom own? And what does Disney own? And not just TV channels, podcast channels, newspapers,
traditional print outlets, all of that.
All of it. So, like, you think that's all these different things, but you're still, the money is a pyramid scheme funneling upwards from every one of those building blocks, bro. And it just continues on for the fame addiction, for the sports addiction, for the distraction from what we probably should be focusing on as human entities. Instead, let's watch some men do fake violence, throw each other through a table at ringside, and lay on each other for 3 seconds in their underpants. And then argue about it like 8-year-old fucking or 8th grade fucking girls at the lunch table on podcasts to provide entertainment for people who are all trying to get back to age 10 to 13 years old, really 8 to 13 years old, when our imaginations were the most vibrant and we didn't have self-doubt. We believed we were superheroes for real.
Hey, and that's, come on. Guys with underwear laying on each other 3 seconds. That's what it's really all about, man.
It is. That's what's going to solve it all, bro.
That's what makes the world go around. That's the big payoff in the end.
What is wrestling? Wrestling is a story of dominance.
Very simple, good versus evil, story of dominance, overcoming, whatever the hell there. And what we take to these airways, the Hammer, back large and in charge, man. Good to see him making the rounds, lighting up all the chat rooms. Loved his contribution to the live chat, especially over the last couple of days with Smack Tack and the review show. It's just nice when you got somebody you could ask over there, hey, did this work? How should this work? Especially when you got the big men in there throwing down.
Yeah, dude. There's nobody better than Charles the Hammer Evans to give that perspective, bro. Glad he's not giving me a spine buster. Fuck that. My back's fucked.
Yeah.
I did work out. I worked out hard this morning, Hammer. I'm on the diet. I'm doing calorie deficit, the Caesar Bonini program, and I'm only week 1 or week 2 in there, but I'm coming back, Hammer. No, I'm not coming back. I'm just trying to get in good shape, buddy, and I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us here on the Monday Locker Room as I shoot my mouth off and get us all heat.
I like the transition there, Ben. Hey, that's what these pods are about, right? Just shooting our mouths off, venting a little bit. Did you happen to catch any Mr. Jake Hager venting?
Yeah, man.
Out his mouth, just cutting loose. I mean, he wants the locker room talk. That's what he was providing there with Van Pitt in a recent interview. I guess the biggest headline out of there is that he tries to work in the phrase every day, fuck Tony Khan. And then he kind of just told some stories, about just personal one-on-one working with Tony, how he's kind of changed since day one, becoming a little bit, the doors closed more and more. He doesn't want to talk about ideas. It's more about his way. Obviously, the big story out of that was a meeting with the boys, the locker room having a meeting post the CM Punk situation, where Tony stormed in and kind of told him, hey, it's my way around here. If it's 6 minutes to the show and I put you in a 6-man, you're going to work that 6-man. I don't want to hear anything about it. I'm the one signing the checks. This is my promotion. Hager, not a lot of positive things to say upon his departure there from All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah, that's where Tony should have laid out and let his captains that he, hopefully had in place, where he's saying Sting, Jericho, and Big Show. I wouldn't be running in quick to finger wag at those guys, but Hammer came up with Hager just like I did, and they put him on the fast track at OVW, and he was an absolute stud, and they never really got the value they should have. He was really ahead of his time with the MAGA stuff, with everything he had going on with Dutch. So they just didn't want to cross the lines where they should, and then they play it safe way too much. Hager could have been an unbelievably like Trump before Trump, really. You know what I mean? He had it there with all that Proud Boys shit that went on right after.
Even like that Colby Covington did in MMA.
There's a reason.
If only we knew anyone who knew anything about that backstory.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
So, yeah, absolutely. And Colby and Hager would have been great together. Hager would have been great to have as big brother to bring Colby Covington in and be back him up with that controversial take and let Hager show him how to do the wrestling the right way. You know what I mean? Going from MMA and, amateur background that Colby has. So, well, they didn't. They put a purple hat on him and made him say, I love this hat. And what are you supposed to do when you're an NCAA fucking All-American champion, former WWE world champion, and now you're just a goof in a 5-man group that keeps changing and
Group.
that keeps changing in its name, every 2 months, right? With guys that are over and respect you, but you just get to be a punchline. But hey, that's when you go, all right, I'm laughing all the way to the bank. All I got to do is the hat joke tonight, and my contract, I'm getting paid for it, taking no bumps. But then you also have the other side of that going, I've been a champion my whole life, and now I'm fucking wearing a purple hat. I look like a douchebag, and they're ribbing me, and I should be fucking champ here. Instead, some shindy guys who don't even know how to fucking shoot or do things the right way in the ring are your champions, and now multiply that times up and comers like Wardlow, Hobbs, and then you got senior guys like Big Show and Jericho who absolutely know that's the way it should be too. But everybody shut the fuck up because we're earning a fat check here and we all got to eat some shit. And then when there's a sign of revolt, Tony feels cornered and he's got to come in and show everybody that I'm the boss and I'll do it and you'll do what I say, like swing dick, right? Like probably not the right place or way to do it because you're selling for the pressure. But this is right on the heels of the CM Punk stuff, and Don Stevens is on the internet and everybody's gassing him up. So probably doesn't take much to light that fuse and, have him go off and go bang, when really he should have stooges in that meeting who come and report to him and fucking he makes his move calculated. So the mob boss doesn't run in and start yelling at people. You know what I mean? So
that's what surprised me most about the story is that Tony would have taken upon himself to invade that space, go in there seemingly angry, when it sounds like a lot of the people that Hager even talked about name that were in there, that Brian or Mox, like those guys would have immediately gone to him and to Tony and said, hey, listen, this is what was talked about. This is what people are upset about.
Yeah, they would have. That's how it should have worked. The only thing I can think of, and I love Sopranos so much, is fucking when Tony has to shake down his guys because there wasn't enough money. Even Uncle June needs cash, and Tony's been betting a ton and losing. And there's zero growth in this family's receipts. That guy, what other thing? Oh, it died on the vine. It died on the vine. Like where you're trying to hype your guys up to do bigger business. This isn't that. This is paranoia of a mutiny, which is not a wrong fear to have, but then how he handled it is not the way to earn respect from guys that have played the quiet cutthroat game for years. You know what I mean? And are masters of it because they had to avoid Hall, Nash, HBK, and Triple H to get to the point to become universal champion, like even Jericho putting forth great effort in the WCW days, stealing the show in the mid card most of the time, where he'd be buried in a segment
get punished
of the show.
For it.
Yeah, and because he's outshining everybody because he's too goddamn entertaining. So to run in and fucking sell right away shows them who you're dealing with, and that's why Jake Hager probably really, among other reasons, doesn't respect Tony Khan, because you can't. It's marks in the locker room who don't understand the true code of wrestling.
A lot of buzzwords in there, Ben, that you had mentioned.
Points,
I want to ask.
Points, King of Sicily. Frankly, I'm disgusted and ashamed. I got to come to you with my hat in hand. You're supposed to be earners. That's why you got the top spots. If Tony would have just come in, if Tony Khan would have just come in and done
said
Tony
that
Sopranos lines and done that whole scene, I would fucking probably work for him for free, to be honest with you. Just a pop.
A little bit of, maybe in Tony's defense here, for Tony Khan's side of things here, and he is a complete outsider.
Will you fucking stop?
Oh, sorry.
Will you fucking stop?
Perfect.
Well, go ahead, man.
But he is coming into play at the highest level of this game. He's got all the money in the world. He's going right to compete with the big boys. TV deal, global company. Everything seems lovey-dovey at first. Oh yeah, thank you. You know, because they are, like you said, they are ready to take that big paycheck, and they're getting big paychecks for little work from TK here. They're telling them everything's great. Yeah, dude. All the role fantasy wrestling you did as a kid, that's working. You know, they're stroking that ego.
Yeah, they're
eventually,
working them,
eventually that falls off. That false bottom drops out. And if you're Tony Khan, you got to almost be shitting your pants when you got to face that reality that you got all these hungry tigers gnawing at you, and you're still trying to run this company. By the way, this is your investment. As Frank was saying over there, this is your money. You're the one signing the check. So at some point, you got to find a way to get their soldiers in line.
Oh, absolutely. You need to get your soldiers in line, but you're the fucking rabbit in the tiger cage, and you're supposed to go, get in line, tigers. Like, these guys are made to work money marks, bro. Like, this is what we have been sharpening our swords for, you know. But Tony, absolutely. Oh fuck, where is it, man? I had it too. Shit. Tony needs to like carve out the fact that this isn't a birthday party meet and greet with your favorite superstars anymore, right? Like,
this isn't a meet and greet with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, like that's exactly what he thought it was to start with the hugs and the points and the buddy stuff, and you know, these are my friends, you know, and you find out quickly that they're there just to fleece you and pick your pockets. And that goes for the EVPs. Cody left. The Bucks kind of were like, we're going to be hands off for a year. Kenny's got diverticulitis. What's he do? Surround himself with RJ City. Chris Jericho's going to take that top spot. And then internet marks from Don Stevens to Will Washington to whoever else, right?
Meltzer.
Hopefully he's Meltzer. Hopefully he would listen to a Jerry Lynn or a Dustin Runnels, but who knows? Like, that's your wrestling. That's your doctorate in wrestling. Every day you should be trying to have them on the road with you, explaining the business to you. But if you already think you're over because everybody gave you hugs at the birthday party time, now you're like, oh shit, I gotta be a man. I knew they were taking advantage of me, and no more. Our birthday party's over. My toys, you're all mine. Yeah, dude, like that is what you're seeing. So a fucking chop wood, carry water, Oklahoma motherfucker like Jake Hager, you think he's gonna respect the Tony Khan is the movie The Toy with Richard Pryor, bro. Like, that is what you're seeing, right? So Wonder Wheel's deflated over there, and Jake says some hot shit, and then JR tries to like kind of cover for it and whatnot. As JR wants to keep good talent relations with everybody, earn a check from Tony and not fuck up his money. But everyone's going to go to JR because he was the number one champion in the office for Jake Hager.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why Jake Hager got fast tracked in OVW. Not that he was awesome, don't get me wrong. And he's a cool dude. Like, worked with him on indies after he got released as well, you know, and that's my Smiz Briz. So I'm always down to hang with Jake. But JR had to kind of he didn't bury him.
No,
you know what I mean?
Pretty much said, hey, this is Jake just blowing off some frustration.
Yeah, exactly. But what are you supposed to kowtow and just keep going? I loved my purple hat. Jake's got his own business now. He's out of the business. This is why he doesn't have to keep talking the way like, oh, I might go back to WWE and get a job if I do this or that. He's got his trucking business.
Yep.
I hope he absolutely kills it with that and out of Florida. I think it's called Hall and Oates. Is that what it's called?
Hall and Oates, all right. You know what? I did dip my toe into that. I looked into that as a profession there for a little bit, is brokering the trucker thing. You talk, hey, Hager might be set up perfect because you want to talk about a carny scumbag business, the trucking industry, and dealing with all those brokers. And what's crazy about it is because it's all the drivers, they are hustlers, they are scumbags, that's what I would say it. And it's a lot of Russians that come over here for the heavy driving season, especially during the spring when they're moving, fruits and vegetables out of the South to other parts of the country. They'll come over like 5 at a time so that they don't have to sleep in their rigs. They don't pay any attention to their logs and all that. They just rotate who's driving while the others are resting. Hardly bathe. They're just hitting the truck stop, gas station, sink showers and all that.
Right.
And they make buku here for about 6 months, like crazy money. And then they go back for the other 6 months. They go back home to Russia and live like kings. And then they just come back here for the big spring hauling season and recycle that entire thing. And it is a hustle brokering all those things and moving that shit. It is a dirty business.
And I think that's what he's trying to do, is to be the top guy that is the coordinator, because I don't think he's got his CDL. He's not out.
No, he's running the broker part of it. So he's got drivers out there. They're booking the loads, moving America and all that. So he's the top dog and all that.
Yeah. I can only imagine going from pro wrestler to trucker, and you got to be in the fucking saddle all that day. You're back.
Yeah, he's off this guy. He's off this guy.
But his celebrity can make him the top guy regionally with just some billboards where people will want to go have a mark out moment to get their trucking stuff done with him, So he's smart to use all that, and absolutely should use that in the forefront. And every one of these things he does, if he's going to shoot bang bang on the industry now, because he's got a great perspective and history of his journey to tell, but that's an opportunity every time to plug his trucking gimmick and now you go from a regional brand to a global brand. People in UK and Australia know about Ravens Joint. People in Canada know about it. Wherever you're hearing us, fucking konnichiwa, so there's that is what can take your business. And just in t-shirts alone, he could possibly, if he comes up with witty wrestling t-shirts that smart fans want to fucking buy, that's another easy thing for him, bro. So all of that carniness that you talked about, that is what he should be doing. And I would double down. If you got heat, play heat. You got momentum, play momentum. And if the heat's not going to hurt his business or bother him, go start making the podcast rounds with all the good brothers and tell that, Speaking of, I won't speak too much on his business, but a lot of fans were hitting me up asking me where Renee was. And I just saw him come back online the other day. So I gave him a quick FaceTime. He looks great. There was a lot of chin in the lower third of the FaceTime, but it was good to see him, and he's doing well. And I think we'll see him back soon here. So it was good to connect with Renee.
The advertisement for the next season installment of the cafe was coming out.
He kind of just went dark online for a while, so it was good to catch up with him real quick.
Hey, how do you keep them wanting more? You disappear. We can't miss you unless you've been gone for a little bit. That's the secret to it. Been up against that hour here for our Labor Day Monday locker room. Any other big headlines you want to hit on, man?
No, man, I think we've probably covered most of it. The big one in the fucking Twitterverse in the last 3 hours by design. And I'm wondering why it's by design to keep showing it and blow up. But pictures of The Rock looking, and a photo can easily be doctored and because we just saw Rock, maybe 3 months ago on TV. Yeah. It was still pretty fucking ripped and jacked. And had the debut of the Mark Coleman movie. So we
got Smash Machine coming out.
Yeah. So, but he is not half the size, but much smaller, lean, and looking like Rocky Maivia of original day size when he was, before he took a lot of advice and B12 and got new gear and, moved to Florida for the water and had all of the spot treatments that he's had over the years, which took a lot of work. But, dude, this is what it looks like when you go off of HGH, Winstrol, and Deca kind of cold turkey, and who knows whatever else. The guy's got billions. He might have fucking gas that's engineered that nobody can even get, But that's kind of what's blowing up now. But everyone's like, does he have AIDS? Does he have cancer? And da, da, da. And I'm just like, what do you think? You think he just got that big for fucking 2 decades out of nowhere, dude? This is what it looks like when you abuse steroids. The side effects of steroids are fame, fortune, and popularity. And when you go off of them, you can probably retain all 3 because you've built a legacy, but you can't do steroids for fucking 60 years straight. You can't. So when now he's going off, and maybe it's for a role, maybe it's for.
That's what I was going to say. Is there a new project coming up where you're?
Yeah, but like everyone going, does he have kid? Dude, get fucking with it. He was on fucking growth forever, on gas forever, because we want our movie heroes to be larger than life. We want them to look like He-Man characters. And that's my sacrifice of what he was willing to do. And when it's WrestleMania season, even the fucking straight edge superstars are out there fucking getting geared up. So now we're hypocrites on what we will or won't do in order to be in the main event because it was my childhood dream. So, I'm on the Caesar Bonini program. I'm feeling good, and I'm going to get on TRT too because now Hollywood needs a new gas man. And I think
I'll say how is the new program? What's it all entail? Like what's your diet look like? What's your exercise regime?
It's a very hardcore app, like with having to enter everything you eat, but it operates pretty smoothly and it's very well put together so far. Taking measurements for body mass index. I'm on a 2,200 calorie a day diet for caloric deficiency, which I was probably around 28 to 3,000, in overeating and what I was eating. But it's not like I have to cut anything really. Like if I wanted to eat fast food, you could, but you're going to eat up your calories. So try and make healthier choices. Then it's as much protein base as you can take in, kind of as well, very protein driven. So it's somewhat keto, but the carbs, you can still have them if you want, bread, you can have wheat bread and things along those lines. So doing that. And then the workout, I'm working with a dude on his staff, Enrique, and he put together a program for me. And right now, this first week, it was just 2 days at the gym, 3 days. I was doing virtual sparring. It just says walking half hour, so 10,000 steps really. But I walk the dogs of war, but I'd rather box and get my heart rate up. So, and burn even more than what walking would. So the workout regimen in week 1 is steady and not crazy. My sleep is off, and drinking a gallon of water a day. That's a big part of it too. So, it's good, man. And week 1, I feel a little bit sluggish from the lack of sleep that I've had because I've been doing open and closes at Ravens joint. So my sleep was kind of the shits. And when you're an old bastard like me and you drink a gallon of water, you're going to go up to piss fucking 5 times in a night. So just getting past that. But I worked out this morning early, 7 a.m. When Planet Shitless was open, and I already got it done. So I feel good, man. And it's 1 o'clock and I've already knocked out a bunch of shit before the day really began.
Very, very nice. Well, as we've been recording here, my DM's been blowing up. Kaz has already got us a bunch of clips. So I've got some uploads I'm going to be taking care of the rest of my holidays. So just remind everybody out there right here on the HMG YouTube channel. Make sure that you're sharing all that content for us, man. We're getting more and more of those clips up there, spreading that good word about what we got going on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Great job by you guys. So wherever you're following us or sharing it on the HMG Facebook group or the Twitter feed, appreciate that synergy, pal, flywheel of getting those clips going into the algorithm and in the wrestling world. And maybe we need to look into TikTok as well. So, but yeah, man, I hope you guys have a great Labor Day. Fire up the barbecue. Put your feet up. Don't work too hard, man. And know that it's Monday and you got 2.5 hours more to get through. So it's not Clash in Paris. It's Clash.
2 o'clock start time, 2 or 3 o'clock today too. So
is it? I'll wait and go watch it at Cyburn's house tonight. Hang out for a little while. So, but y'all, you guys, thanks for hanging in the chat room. Thanks to Charles the Hammer Evans hanging in there, giving some knowledge as well, you guys, and being respectful. And it's that hot talk. I'm not here to review matches in the locker room, baby. We're here to talk that real biz, that real shiz. With Art of the B to the V, Hacker Hameen, you know what it is. Here on the Monday Locker Room. YOLO.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
That's what